Sunny skies, warm weather, sandy beaches. For generations, this has been the retirement dream for so many. But retirement is changing. This week, we're digging into major questions about Social Security, Medicare, retirement savings. What do you need to have so you can make sure that you can ride off into the sunset? Sit back, relax, and listen to what we found. This is The Race. Welcome into The Race. I'm Chris Stewart. We're here in Florida where more people who are ages 65 and older live than any other state, but there are people who are at or near retirement age all across this country. And that's what we're going to be talking about this week when it comes to retirement, the election issues that matter to you. You think of being able to pay for health care and prescription meds to enjoying your retirement years that people have worked so hard for. But when it comes to retirement, well, it may not be exactly what you imagined. Our Nicole Vowell introducing us to a woman who is nearing retirement age, but taking care of multiple generations under one roof.
You know, I'm never going to have an empty nest here. But he does have a good appetite.
Martha Clinkscales
His plate will sit out there for a few minutes, but he'll have his little bit of wine.
has a lot on her plate. In her home, not only does she take part in the care of her 94-year-old father-in-law.
Okay, your dinner's ready if you're ready for it.
For the last 30-plus years, she's owned her own home care business in Atlanta.
I have a lot of commitments to keep.
Oh, and one more thing. She has a 14-year-old son, the youngest of 5.
I was 46 when I had Rush, unexpectedly, but joyfully. I have never been off. I have never had a year where I didn't need to make sure that I provided for myself and someone else.
At the age of 61, retirement for Martha looks a lot like a distant dream than a near reality.
My full retirement, full, with Social Security is 66 and 6 months, right? But I will probably not retire and stop working till I'm closer to 70.
The truth is, the price tag on aging is a lot more than she expected, and she isn't alone. Recent studies show a record number of Americans, 1 in 5, are working and caring for at least one other person beyond the age of 65.
I'll check in on you in a little bit, okay?
A full plate indeed.
Having children, having parents, having work, it's a very full schedule. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but it's a lot.
An increasing population of Americans are redefining what retirement really looks like, a big issue for people like Martha ahead of the midterm election.
I'm all in favor of as much support as the government feels like it can offer to aging. All right, love you.
For The Race, I'm Nicole Vowell.
Now, if you're like Martha, where you're at retirement age and you're taking care of a child or an elderly parent, there are places that you can go to help with the cost of care, some of them even free. For senior care, experts recommend calling your loved one's primary hospital. Ask for the discharge planning or social services department. You can often find programs and services there. Also, care managers to help with patient health care are also available in your local communities. You just want to Google care managers near me, and there will be an entire network of people ready to help point you in the right direction. State transportation departments, veterans hospitals, even churches also often have programs and resources you can take advantage of. Now, if you've worked in your lifetime, you have likely paid into Social Security, and you expect, or at least hope, that money will be there when it comes your turn to collect. But we've also heard that Social Security is running out of money. So Eugene Daniels and cartoonist Nick Refuerzo teaming up to take a look at just how much trouble Social Security is really in.
Since 1935, the United States has been doling out Social Security benefits. But something we're hearing a lot lately is that as more people receive the benefit, it's running out of money faster and faster. So how much danger is Social Security really in? Well, it's not like hit the red emergency button time, but we should be concerned. The government says that by 2034, the Social Security trust funds are going to be empty. At that point, the feds will only be able to pay less than 80% in promised benefits for 75 years. This year, for the first time since 1982, the costs of the Social Security program will be more than the money it's bringing in. And that's likely to continue to happen until the reserves run out. To be clear, the program will still be collecting that tax money out of your check, but at current rates, that won't be enough to give out full benefits. A huge reason for this is there are just fewer workers supporting those who are accepting the benefit. In 1960, for example, there were about 5 workers for every 1 beneficiary. In 2016, that fell to just under 3. At this rate, there's going to need to be some major changes, and soon.
Now, when it comes to paying for Social Security, Republicans and Democrats, they have different approaches. Corey Rangel taking a look at solutions proposed by both sides.
Many people planning for retirement expect to get some help from Social Security, but with funds running out, lawmakers have looked at ways to try and save it. Republicans have proposed ideas.
You can cut benefits. You can raise the retirement age, which is a big thing for Social Security.
But Republicans admit both options are a tough sell.
Voters are going to tell you that they're not going to vote for you.
Democrats have pushed another option.
You can ask the wealthiest 1% of the country and the people who have making the greater earnings on a fair scale pay a little bit more.
However, President Donald Trump has repeatedly pledged not to touch Social Security, including on the campaign trail.
Save Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security without cuts. Have to do it. Get rid of the fraud, get rid of the waste and abuse, but save it.
And he's made the same promise as president, including just this month.
And I'm going to save your Social Security. We're not touching your Social Security. Do you remember when I ran?
But despite solutions suggested by both Republicans and Democrats, Social Security's problems remain unsolved. For The Race, I'm Corey Rangel.
Oh, and you think about planning for retirement, it can give you an absolute headache because there are a lot of things that you need to think about. But coming up next on The Race, we're going to be talking to a financial expert, the main things you should be thinking about right now so you can get it done.